It was hammered, and it looks incredible. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out, or we're gonna be detailing this 2009 full-time off-road rig, this Jeep right here. And what recently just happened, and the reason why it's in, not only is it dirty and we gotta clean up the rims and tires and the paint, but they got themselves in a little bit of a pickle, and they have a ton of desert pinstripes down the side of the car. So the main focus of this detail is, yes, to clean it up and get it looking good, but it is to remove all these desert pinstripes. So we're gonna be using the new JIMBO's polish for that. So in this video, we're gonna be using all the JIMBO's products to clean, detail it, make it look brand new again. So all that and more coming up in this video. I've had so much interest for the new polish that I've been developing with Tom, and I'm in works and in development with the labels, getting the labels designed and printed. And so what I've decided to do, because there's so many of you that want it, you want to get on the list, that I've opened it up for early pre-sale. I'm still realistically probably about 4 to 6 weeks out from actually shipping it. But if you want to be first on the list, you want to get in line, I need help kind of figuring out how much demand, how much to actually make of this. So I've opened it up for pre-sale, both in 8-ounce and 16-ounce bottles. So if you're interested in getting first in line for the new JIMBO's polish, I will put that link below for this as well, and you can get in line for the new polish. All right, so we're gonna start with Pure Magic Cleaner on the rims, and then I have the Super Soaper mixed at 2 ounces in the IK foam sprayer, and we're gonna use this on the tires to remove some of this browning and dirt, but some of it is stained, and so we will finish it later and dress it up with all dressed up and make it look good. So I have my assistant, you hold that. I'm gonna spray the rim down. Get that dwelling. And then while that's dwelling, why don't you get that? That's gonna start foaming out, and just try to foam this whole entire tire, okay?
Can I hold that down?
Hold this down, and it'll start to go. Get a little closer, and just spray the whole tire, and there you go. Bend down a little bit. Yep. All the way over here. You can move, you're not in cement. There you go. You can even do it on the rim if you want. Perfect, okay, let go. And then I'm gonna take this battery powered sprayer, also has Super Soaper in it, and I'm just gonna start getting in the fender well and starting to pre-soak in there. Like that. While this dwells, why don't we move on to the back tire? And if you got it pumped up enough, you could do the tire again.
How do you know if it's pumped up enough?
As soon as it gets hard to do. Nice. Pump it a little bit again, James, and then just do a quick once over on this tire, but you could already see the browning kind of coming off. And then I'll get the brush and you could scrub it. Now we could take this and we'll start. I'll show you how to do it on this one, and then you could do it on the back one, okay? Don't worry about making a mess all over the place. That's how it goes. Start with the outside. Try to get in these grooves, right? See that? Don't be afraid to scrub hard either. I'll start. This side though, since we're in the sun, maybe we'll only work one at a time, because it's gonna dry out a little bit faster. So when that's pumped, ready to go, you can go ahead and spray it right on the tire and the rim. Yep, and move it along. Starting to run out of product a little bit. I might have to refill it. Perfect. Okay, and then let's just go straight to scrubbing. Go straight to scrubbing on that one. Perfect. Yeah, look at all that browning coming out. That's perfect.
That's really good, right?
Yeah, perfect. There you go. Let's rinse this one down. It's gonna be a lot of dirt coming off that one. One last rim in there. Don't spray it, pump it. Yep, there you go. All right, keep it moving. Yep. Perfect. There you go. Yeah. Here's this, I'll trade you out. You can get the scrubbing. Perfect. Rims and tires are done. We'll move on to pre-soaking. And basically what we're gonna do is just go around the whole car, and we have the super soaper in here. We're just gonna start lifting that dirt off the surface and letting the product do it. So when we go to foam, it's gonna be better. Now this car is pretty dirty, so we're probably gonna have to pre-soak, then we're gonna foam the whole car, let the foam dwell, rinse the foam, and then re-foam it again, and then do our contact wash. We are gonna do a contact wash with this car just because it is so dirty and muddy and really hasn't been cleaned in a very, very long time. And because it is a little bit warmer today, I'm actually going bottom to top with the pre-soak. If I were to go top to bottom, you would run the risk of maybe getting some streaks in there or some staining. So I'm trying to avoid that, and easily avoidable by just going bottom to top. This is really gonna help loosen up all this dirt. All right, James, now the fun part. We could foam it. You ready? So for the foam, I have 4 ounces of the JIMBO Super Soaper mixed into a full foam cannon. You do not need to use a whole entire foam cannon every time you wash the car. Though with this car, we are gonna wash it twice. We may end up using most of it, but on a typical wash, you may only use a quarter to a half of the foam cannon. So here we go. Matches your hat, didn't even realize it. All right, so go ahead, pull the trigger, and keep it moving. We could do the rims and tires again too, just quickly. There you go. Just cover that whole car. Woo! There you go. All right, let me see it. I'll do the higher parts. Can never figure out which way the wind's going, I swear.
Where do I put it?
I'll have you put it right up against the car right now. All right, and we're gonna let that dwell a few minutes. I just hit that front tire, but you'll also start to see already it's pulling even more browning out of the tire, and that's what the soap is designed to do, is designed to really be effective at separating the dirt from the surface of the car.
Oh, jeez.
Scared you a little bit? Okay, so the whole point of everything we just did, just to recap this first car wash portion, was to safely remove the dirt from the surface of the car and have it get as clean as possible before we ever touch it. So though this car has a ton of desert pinstripes and spider webbing and a ton of junk in the paint, I still don't want to make that worse than it already is. So the whole point is to make it as safe as possible before I ever touch the surface of the car, because scratches are the enemy. So we're trying to avoid that. So though this car had a ton of scratches, yeah, that's why you saw the pre-soak and then you saw the foam, letting the foam dwell, and none of the time did I ever touch the paint of the car. Now it's very, very clean, but because it's been sitting out in the mountains for so long, it's not going to be a great candidate for a completely touch-free wash. And so I am going to foam it one more time, and that's when I'm going in with my contact wash. If you noticed, I put a microfiber towel, which is my favorite wash mitt. I just tucked that underneath the windshield wiper to get it wet, and because that's going to be my wash mitt. So if you want to do the honors, and just like I said, we're at about 1/4 to 1/2 of a foam cannon per wash. So on a daily driver, a traditional car, anything outside, anything that's kind of in the normal parameters, you really should only be using 1/4 to 1/2 a foam cannon per wash. So go ahead, bud. Let's foam this thing again.
That's good?
Great job. Oh, short man syndrome. Got it. Let's do our final rinse as it starts to kind of dry up. So we got all the dirt off. It's gonna be completely squeaky clean. Rims and tires are clean. Those are ready for tire dressing when we get to the end of it, the cherry on top, make it all dressed up. We'll do all the trim and stuff, but we've gotta let this dry. We'll dry it maybe with a little bit of towel, pull it in, and we'll start polishing the paint. So when it comes to tires, these tires are obviously worn, have seen a lot of dirt. We cleaned them as best we can, and now it's time to dress them to make them look nice. But what I don't want is I don't want an overly shiny tire. I don't feel like that's fitting for an off-road car. I also don't want sling down the side of the car. So I have JIMBO's all dressed up. I have it diluted down 4:1, and here's the method that I'm gonna use to apply it and make the tire look clean, refreshed, rejuvenated. This tire's really dried out. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray the entire tire with the tire shine, with all dressed up. I'm gonna take a short handle green brush like this, a couple sprays on there, and what this is really good for is getting into these deep grooves of the tire too. So I'll spread it around, and then when I go up and down like that, it's gonna be a really easy way and fast way to work the dressing into the knobs, if you will, of the tire, the complexity of the tire, and I'm just kind of working it in. Now, you could leave it and let it be like this. It's gonna be really high shine. So what I like to do is immediately take a towel and knock down the shine and work into the grooves, and what this is gonna do, it just make the tire look very factory, if you will, very matte, which is the finish that I want on this particular car. Me personally, I like a shiny tire. So I'm leaving it. I'm not diluting the product down. I'm using the product straight. I'm spraying it on, rubbing it in, and leaving it. But for this car, again, because it's an off-roader, I just want it to look matte black. So boom, just like that, it will dry out. It'll look really factory. And if you want a little bit more shine on there, especially on these flatter parts, if you need more of an even look, you could just take a couple sprays into your towel and apply it like that. And that tire is just gonna look how an off-road tire should look. It's not gonna be overdone, it's not gonna be overdressed, but it's still gonna be all dressed up. So I'm gonna repeat that process with the rest of the tires. And while you're in here, if you want, just take all dressed up and spray inside the fender linings. And this, you could actually leave and it's gonna dry. It's gonna be a little shinier, but it's actually gonna repel the dirt and make it easier to wash out the next time. So it's not a coating per se on the inside, but it is gonna be a little layer of protection to make it easier to clean next time it's all caked in with dirt. So I'm gonna repeat that process around the whole car. We'll pull it out, hit it with toughest shell, and do the grand reveal. Okay, so for the cherry on top, we're just gonna add a quick layer of toughest shell. This is a really easy to use ceramic spray. How I like to do it is a couple sprays into your towel or directly onto the panel. You only need 1 or 2 sprays per panel, and you can just rub it in. It's no streaking. It's gonna give you a ton of gloss, a ton of shine, and a ton of slickness, and it's the perfect way to finish off this car that really came out just phenomenal. Really happy with how it polished out. It was hammered, and it looks incredible. There you have it. That's how you can take a completely hammered Jeep with a ton of desert pinstriping, make the paint look incredibly perfect and protected. So from the very beginning, remember we pre-soaked the car. We did a first foam to make sure we're removing and encapsulating all that dirt. Then we did our contact wash. Before we even started washing, we used Pure Magic cleaner on the rims, foamed the tires and scrubbed them really hard. After we got the paint completely clean and perfect, we brought it in to do a paint correction on it. We ended up doing a one-step paint correction that actually made the paint look really, really good. And now bringing it outside, protecting it with toughest shell and sending it home with the owner looking honestly brand new. So if you guys enjoyed that, I'll have everything linked below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.